Good morning, Savva here from Savva Talks Football for a daily dose of Spurs, day 14. Owners out, manager out, director of football out. And if the title had allowed me more characters, I would have said head of academy out, scouts out, everyone out, medical team out. Look, this may sound a little bit over the top, but listen, this isn't a view that has changed for me from one week to the next. This is how I felt for a very, very long time. This is nothing to do with losing to Wolves. This is nothing to do with losing Sheffield United. I just think the whole club is having cracks papered over by Harry Kane. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel. I watch this team play. There is nothing there. This looks like I've seen many a good team in my 40 years play. I've seen many a well-organised team. Many a slick passing team, many a one-touch team, a possession-based team, a counter-attacking team, a defensive team. I watch this Tottenham team now and I don't know what it is that we're doing. And people will go, oh, well, you don't understand football. Listen, I've seen many teams, like many of you have, that are getting fed up with this tactic. Many of you have seen, this isn't about me, many of us have seen good football. Even if that's a football style we don't particularly like a defensive style of football isn't for me, but I appreciate it when it's done correctly, like with a Diego Simeone, who knows how to do that brilliantly. Look, this isn't about Antonio Conte. This is about the whole lot. And this is what frustrates me. I brought out a video yesterday, and the only thing that certain people could say, I won't mention names, but they know who they are that came into my chat, went, oh, you just hate Conte. It's like, did you not use these to listen to what I just said? So let's start. I will start with the owners. The owners have to go. Now, I'm also not silly enough, like some people who will just tell you that if you protest, they leave, to realise that this is a pipe dream, them leaving. I want them to leave more than everybody. And everybody will say the same thing. I want them to leave more than anybody else. Of course, we all want them to leave. If you don't like them, of course. If you do like them, you don't want them to leave. I want them to leave. I want them to sell, and I want them to sell soon. I'm also old and ugly enough to know that this is a pipe dream. They will sell when they're good and ready. Unfortunately, these owners have been fantastic for revenue building, fantastic for building a global business empire. But we're not fans of global business empires, are we? We're football fans. We are fans of football. We want to go and watch our team play every week, whether that's once a week, twice a week if you're in the Cups or Europe, and we want to enjoy it. We're not fans of business. I'm not fans of, oh my God, look what they've done with the Skywalk. Look what they've done for the revenue. Look what they've done with boxing, NFL. They've built what they've built. They've built an absolute cash cow. They've built a juggernaut of a business model. I can't knock them from that if I was talking about business. But I'm a football fan. I didn't start my YouTube channel to discuss business. I'm a football fan. The sooner they go, the better. But I cannot see it happening anytime soon. Anytime soon, I cannot see this happening. I've said this many a time. This is my phrase. It's the magic number. So don't be swayed when you see YouTubers saying you're the problem, you the fans are the problem, you don't do anything about it. Don't listen to that. There's nothing you can do about it. This is a £4.55 billion business. They're not going to sell because 1,000 people down the high road ask them to. They're going to sell when they get that magic number. If the magic number is 4.5 billion, so be it. If it's 5, so be it. They're not selling till they get that magic number. I don't like that. Just because I say how it is doesn't mean I like it. There's a huge difference in what people don't understand. Facts don't always care about feelings, okay? And the fact is, these guys have set out to build a global business empire. They have achieved that. They are adding to it it feels like every week at the moment, but it's probably not. They've added to it with the golf. They've added to it with the cinemas. They've added to it with the training ground, the stadium, the skywalk, the boxing, the NFL, the concerts, the go-karting. Why would they now sell because a few of us don't like it? We also have to remember that the YouTube world isn't the only world. How many of the millions of Spurs fans are watching YouTube going, yeah, I agree with that, let me join in? A lot of people think that the Levy-ENIC out movement is vile. And I'll be honest, I have pulled away from it a little bit because, yes, it is. A lot of the people in that ENIC-Levy out movement keep telling everyone else they're the problem. But those people still go to games. Those people still put their money in. Those people aren't walking out. They go to away, they go to home. Cool, you're a football fan. Go and do that. But then don't preach to everyone else that they're the problem. The problem are the owners. That's not going to change whether any fan likes it or not. So the owners, yeah, do I want them out? Yeah, out. Is it that achievable? I don't think so. Antonio Conte, the manager, I want him out. I don't mind sitting here saying that. I want him out. I do not like this guy as a manager. By the way, that doesn't mean I don't like him as a human being. This is football. This isn't personal. I do not like anything about his tactics, his style, his ethos. I don't like his awful substitutions, his stubbornness. Again, I'm speaking as Sava. I'm not speaking as a collective fan base. I don't have any more power than anybody else as a football fan. I'm just using my platform to say what I think. That's all. I'm not asking any of you to feel the same. Let me just make that very clear. You are all adults who can feel how you want, right? I'm not going to sit here like other YouTubers and tell you that you're the problem and you have to you are the problem with Tottenham Hotspur and you're the reason why everything's happening. I've said it from day one, whether people want to acknowledge this or not. Said it from day one. Antonio Conte was never the answer. What is the answer? Now, that's $1 million question. But how anyone truly believed that Antonio Conte, who is a winner with big clubs, with big players, was the right answer to come to Tottenham Hotspur on an 18-month contract. This gets overlooked time and time and time again. All these people going, oh, you want Conte out, you'll regret it. The guy's contract was 18 months. It ends in 3 months' time. Why will I regret it? He clearly didn't believe in it enough, or Levy and him between them didn't believe in each other enough to sign for longer than 18 months. So why do I have to believe in that project? I'm meant to believe in a manager and a project that didn't believe in it himself? Sorry, I'm not having it. This is a guy who is a very good manager in certain situations. Certain situations. Tottenham is not that situation. This isn't a guy that comes in and upskills young players. This isn't a guy that comes in, puts his arm around people and builds for 4, 5, 6 years. This is a guy that you bring in to win now, when you've got a squad that isn't quite getting over the line, but is good enough to win. That is not Tottenham Hotspur. I'm sorry if that upsets anyone. Sorry if anyone thinks we are good enough to win. I know there's a lot of very positive people out there, and fair play to you. But year in, year out, it's proved that that's not the case. It's proved. We don't win anything. So, Conte, for me, I would have brought Conte in the year we finished second with Poch, when he couldn't get over the line. That squad. That's when I'm bringing in Antonio Conte. And then sprinkling a few extra players and Conte getting that into them, getting them over the line. For me, it's never been the right fit for Tottenham. Now, I want to make this very clear when I say this, because, again, I get accused by YouTubers of this point when this isn't true. Now, this is me. I'm telling you, this is my point. Don't listen to what anyone else says that I think. This is me saying it, right? This isn't about, oh, which manager comes in and wins. No, I've never said that. I don't think any manager comes in and wins immediately. But that's why Conte shouldn't be here, because Conte is a winner. Conte is someone that comes in and wins immediately. And this is uncharted territory for him. And you can see that. He's not used to having this level of player. He's not used to not being given the Bastonis, the Vardials, the Lautaro Martinezes. He's not used to that. He's used to having them. You look at his team at Chelsea, littered with stars. Inter Milan, Juve, littered with stars. Now he's at Tottenham, and he's not going to get the stars. Equally, the last thing I'll say on this is I don't hate Antonio Conte. I just don't like his style of football. I don't like it that when we're losing games with 10, 15 minutes to go, it's a wing back on, wing back off, forward on, forward off, still continuing with the 3 centre halves at all opportunity. What happened to the managers? You were losing a game with 10, 15 to go. You chuck on all your forwards. You go long ball. You try and pepper their goal. I'm not saying any one of those things, just all of it. Just pepper their goal, camp in their half. Get the long ball, get the knockdowns, even chuck a centre half up there. Try and hustle and bustle, but we don't. Same thing every time. Look at the weekend. Porro, an attacking wing back. He had to bring on Emerson Royal for some reason. Had to. Why? Why do we need to do that? Don't get it. I do not get it. Look, I feel for him. I feel for him because he's a winner that's come here and he isn't going to continue winning. But it was the same with Jose. None of our fans seem to have learnt a lesson with Jose. I was a fool at the beginning of the Jose era. I thought they must have bought this guy in for a reason. Maybe they're going to back him now. And within the first transfer window, I remember saying to everyone, no, I've been an idiot here. I've been an idiot. That's not the case. That's why when Conte came in and people were saying the same thing, I was like, I've learnt my lesson. I've learnt my lesson. That is not how we act, which is why I'm not surprised at what's happened. It's why I'm not surprised. Now, people can say we're fourth. Great. Fourth isn't a trophy. Fourth is something people now use as a safety blanket. Oh, Champions League football. I don't care. What's the point? We get Champions League football, and what do we do with it? We don't buy Champions League players, right? And look at the games we've had in the Champions League. They've been appalling. We haven't played anyone of note. Again, I fully expect us to beat Milan, will we? No excuses for not. This is a poor team. But there'll be excuses for Conte when we don't. The excuses are already made. Sanchez and Dyer, they're already made. That was the excuse for Sheffield United. Neither of them played against a poor Wolves team. Still blaming the defence. Not allowed to blame Conte for not getting any football going. Not allowed to blame Conte for the fact that Son, Kane and Kulusevski look poor. I know Kane has scored, by the way, but he's not looking the same. Son has dropped off a cliff. Kulu, a complete shadow of last season. No one's allowed to point this out. So for me, he's not for me. He's not for me. This club needs a manager that will settle for the next level down. Unfortunately, I don't like that, but that's the way it is. That is the way it is. All of these people are here going, well, no, you've let Linick dictate to you. Well, no, I haven't. That's the way it is. I don't dictate to them. They dictate the club, unfortunately. I hate that, but that's the way it is. So stop blaming fans for everything that goes wrong. The director of football, let's move on from him to him. He's got to get out as well. A shocking director of football. In his time at Tottenham, he has brought in 17 players, of which 3 are first-team regulars. If you look at Kulusevski, Bentancur and Romero. Could we say Perisic as well? 50-50. Other than that, what's he done? And bearing in mind, the 4 players, if we're including Perisic in that, who I don't really want to because I don't think he's been good at all. I think he's been very poor. He looks every bit of his age and looks gone. He looks finished. Every one of those players is from Italy that he knew before. From the Juventus link. Romero, Kulusevski and Bentancur. And Kulusevski and Bentancur weren't even the first choices. They were done on the last day of the window because we couldn't get Luis Diaz and Adama Traore. Let that sink in. The other 14, 13 players he's bought, what have we got from them? Papa Sarr's played about 4 games for the club in 2 years. Jed Spence didn't, I think he got 60 minutes across the season. Longley, poor. Perisic, poor. Fraser Forster, I think a backup goalkeeper, isn't it? Richarlison, poor. Basuma, you brought in a player in Basuma who plays in a 3. We play a 2. Did Conte want him? Not. Hasn't worked out yet. Hopefully a new manager, a bit more progressive coming in, will get that working. But all in all, the director of football for me has been really poor. And I can see why he works well with Levy. For me, he's not the answer. Now he can't operate in the one country where he's operated well from, in Italy. What do we do with that? Poor. Really poor. The last 2 I'll skim over. The academy. Who's in charge of our academy? Why aren't we producing anyone? What's going on? Our scouts. Who are they scouting? Why are we not scouting players like Brighton are scouting players? Why can't we pick out a Matoma? Why can't we pick out an Alexis McAllister? I'm just using Brighton as an example. There's many other examples. Why can't we scout these players? Why can't we scout a Paulinho like Fulham have in the central midfield? A Neto from Wolves. Why can't we scout these players? Look, all in all, I know this. People go, "Oh, you're so negative," or we're fourth. Listen, for me, again, I look past the end of my nose. I look past it. Fourth is wonderful if people want to celebrate that. But I look at the club, I look at the structure, the ethos, the plan. What is it? What is the plan at this club moving forward? I'll round off by saying this. I want owners, manager, director of football, head of academy and scouts to all be on that same line, that same page, at least the same book, same page, same chapter, same sentence. This is what we want the club to be. Right. This is the type of players I want to sign as manager. Brilliant. This is my ethos. The club ethos is this. The manager brought in is also here. The director of football also believes in that type of play. The scouts understand what is needed for all of this to happen. So that when the managers move on, because managers will move on, whether they're sacked, whether they leave, whether they're poached, they will move on. That the next manager that falls in line behind that is of the same ethos. They don't have to be identical, but of the same philosophies, the same principles, the same dynamics. That is all I ask. How have other clubs managed to do this and we can't? How? We are one of the richest clubs in world football. We have wasted having superstars like Heung-min Son and Harry Kane for years. We wasted having Eriksen, one of the best playmakers in the world. We wasted that brilliant partnership of Alderweireld and Vertonghen. We wasted Walker and Rose and Dembele and Wanyama. We've wasted them. Wasted. And we're going to do it again if we do not stop and get a plan. So here, for me, forget top four. Not this year. We might get it. But as a fan base, stop talking about top four. Surely we stop talking about Europe being the be-all and end-all. Let's build something for the future so that our kids and our kids' kids have a club they can be proud of. Everyone looks at the now. Oh, look at Liverpool, they're crap. Look at Chelsea, they're crap, because we're above them now. Those clubs will win things. We don't. Let's get a plan in place, an ethos. Let's create a culture. Unity. Let's unite the fan base. Let's stop having these YouTubers that keep dissing every other YouTuber. Let's unite. Watch all of the Spurs YouTube channels. Get a feel for who's doing what. It's not that one person's content is better than the other. It's that everybody's got different opinions. Yeah, let's unite. Let's unite as a club, unite as a fan base. Anyway, that's me. Onwards and upwards to Milan. Again, we should be winning. No excuses, Antonio Conte. No excuses. We should be beating Milan. Much love. Thank you for helping me get to 3.5k. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. I know it's probably not the most upbeat, but for me, that's where I stand on our football club. So when people tell you I'm just Conte out, that is not true. This is the truth. The whole thing needs a reset. Hashtag THFC reset. That's where I'm at. Much love to you all. Speak soon. Please like and keep subscribing. Take care, everyone.